Well, tonight I'm riding a Black Kangaroo. You know, I'm at JFK International Airport and I'm ready for my flight to Australia. Well, it's like a long flight to Los Angeles and then a long flight to Australia. Before we get into all of that, I did want to say thank you very much for everyone who came to the show in Kiev, Ukraine, and everyone who came to the shows in Germany and made them such a lovely, if blurry, time. But now it is time for the Australian tour. Many of you have asked, why is this my last Australian tour? It's simple economics, folks. Simple economics. I have toured Australia twice in the past, 3 times. I think I lost track, but shut your engines, damn it, I'm making a movie. What airline is this? I'm gonna complain. It's better not be American. They're my favorite airline. Oh no, it's just stinky old Air Berlin. All right, they canceled my flight going back to America, so maybe I'm already mad at them. In any case, simple economics, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I can get this plane in the background while I guess I can. In the past, well, actually, anytime you fly to Australia, it's a very, very, very expensive flight. From America, you're looking at, at least $2,000. And then because Australia is so vast, there are many flights in between. You can't just drive from city to city. You have to fly from Sydney to Perth and Perth to Melbourne, Melbourne to Brisbane. And it gets so that's like another $1,000 in flights. And then you have to pay for hotel rooms. So if you're there for 7 nights, that's, 7 times 100 minimum, right? Another $700. Plus presumably, ooh, a hearse. Oh no, it's just an SUV. And presumably, you're paying the artist. I mean, this is after all what we do for a living, so the artist should be paid. And ultimately, there are so many costs involved that it's very, very, very expensive to bring an artist to Australia. Now, if I was Marilyn Manson, none of this would matter. None of it would matter. Because thousands of people would come to my show, and that would pay for flights and hotels 15 times over. Wouldn't be a problem at all. But I'm not Marilyn Manson. I'm just little old me. And I have X number of fans in Australia. And here's where we get to the point of supply and demand. The demand might just not be as big as the supply. There's enough for me to go around, but there just may not be as many people in Australia interested in seeing me play as it really takes in order to pay for all of these expenses. And subsequently, that means that some promoter or some group of promoters end up taking on quite a lot of financial risk to potentially lose their shirts. And that's ultimately why an artist like myself finds it so difficult to go to Australia. Now, the promoters that I worked with in the past, they did in fact find it very difficult to make money from a tour of mine in Australia because, I mean, how many people are going to come to a show? 100 maybe? And the people who come are really passionate and I appreciate every single last one of them. But there's all the people who don't come. There's just all the people who don't come for one reason or another. Many good reasons, of course. Some reasons like couldn't find a babysitter, I have to work that night. Everybody's got lives, everybody's got issues, everybody's got problems. But between the fact that I probably don't have thousands of fans in Australia, I don't know, do I? Maybe I do and you just don't come to the shows. I don't know. But ultimately, this is the last time any of us are taking such a big financial risk to come to Australia. Unless, who knows, something happens. What could happen? What could happen? I mean, I really don't expect that at this point in my career I'm going to suddenly go like crazy viral or something. I've got a couple viruses, but keep that under your hat. Not that kind of virus, but I mean, obviously if my fan base doubled or tripled, then yes, an Australian tour would become more feasible next year. But short of that, I don't know, maybe if everybody who actually listens to my music in Australia bought a ticket to one of the shows and attendance was really good, that could be a reason to do this again. But we're just going to assume that it's going to be like it's been in the past. And unfortunately, ticket sales are dwindling because once upon a time, fans paid for music. They loved music and they paid for music. And, but they still came to the shows. Now they don't even come to the shows. Now they just, somebody will film it, I'll watch it on YouTube. I don't even have to put my pants on. I can watch it at home. So interest in live shows has dwindled and subsequently it leaves us in this, awful financial burden for somebody, whether it's the promoters, whether it's the artists, or whether it's both. And what is the future of all of this? I don't know. I don't know what the future of all of this is. Perhaps touring now, like records, has to be fan funded. Once upon a time, You could spend tens of thousands of dollars making an album because all of your fans were going to buy the album. Now that nobody buys it, you have to crowdsource an album, right? Well, maybe the next step is that tours have to be crowdsourced too, where the really hardcore fans will buy those VIP tickets, they'll buy some special packages, they'll guarantee ticket sales, and that will make it possible to pay for the flights and the hotels and everything else. So that's my long-winded tale of why this is the last stand in Australia. I'm very, very excited to go. I always have a very, very good time down under. And so it's a grueling 30-hour flight, but hopefully in 30 hours I will be in Sydney and I'll get to see some of you in person, and then the next day Perth, and the next day Melbourne, and the next day Brisbane, and then our sad goodbye, possibly forever. So let's not cry, let's drink, drink, drink from a chalice full of the laughter of small koalas. See you later.